Good day, I'm Lisa Rowe and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, July 24, 2024. The Ministry of Finance has allocated $5 billion from the disaster risk financing resources to address immediate relief and recovery efforts associated with Hurricane Beryl. The distribution includes $1.3 billion to finance programs being undertaken by the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation. $1 billion will also finance programs by the Ministry of Labour and Social Security. Portfolio Minister Dr. Nigel Clark says the allocation is drawn from an available pool of 10.9 billion Jamaican dollars. However, the decision to only use half of the fund is to have a reserve for the remainder of the hurricane season. He was making a statement to Parliament on Tuesday.
Any expenditure beyond this amount that falls into this fiscal year will be financed from the proceeds of donations, which are not on this chart, and the donations that have been pledged so far. If you add, from the UN, 2.5 million, 200,000 from the US government, 250,000 from the CAF, which is the multilateral bank that services the Caribbean and Latin America. IDB has promised 200,000. And several other entities, and the CDB, 200,000. We are, if you add just those, we would be already approximating 700 million or thereabouts. So donations could well get to $1 billion. The thing about donations is that some of them are very specific as to what they can be used for, and we have to honor that specificity.
Minister Clark says all expenditures taken and to be undertaken in relation to Hurricane Beryl will be represented in the first supplementary estimates to be tabled later this year. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Labour and Social Security is reporting that based on analysis of the damage assessment completed so far, more than 8,700 houses will require some level of support to aid their recovery from the hurricane. The ministry will be implementing a $1 billion program to assist householders with grants for carrying out repairs to their houses.
And I note and I say for clarity that we will not be able to provide support for a total rebuild, but this will be sufficient support to assist in the process of the recovery. But there are several persons who need to be identified and have not yet been assisted. And we ask that the teams reach out to us, either by contacting our parish office, contact me directly, or call our customer contact center at 876-922-8000-13.
Families whose houses would have been destroyed will receive a grant of up to $400,000. Houses that have been severely damaged but spared total destruction will receive a grant of up to $150,000, while those that experienced minor damage will receive up to $50,000 each.
We recognize that the immediate challenges presented by using check payments based on our experience. We recognize those challenges, and so we are exploring options to expedite this process utilizing electronic payments and cash cards, and we expect that this will assist in us in terms of accountability as well as being able to provide these grants and improve the service of delivery in a timely manner.
Through the Social Intervention Program, $30 million has been allocated to provide tertiary grants. 200 students will benefit from $150,000 each. Energy Minister Darrell Vaz has issued a directive to the Jamaica Public Service Company, JPSCO, to communicate with residents who are still without electricity. At the weekly post-cabinet press briefing earlier today, Minister Vaz highlighted that over 400 customers have reported that their communities are not on the published JPS work schedule.
The information that is coming out of JPS and what is happening on the ground is at odds. I am very concerned in relation to the timelines that have been given by JPS based on what I'm getting out of the field from the members of parliament and residents across Jamaica. I already did my own survey on Sunday, and within less than 24 hours, I got 410 responses of persons who indicated that they were still out of power and either that they did not see their names or their communities on the schedules, or they had not seen any JPS presence in their communities. After 3 weeks, I state categorically that that is unacceptable.
Minister Vaz also highlighted the broader impact of the prolonged electricity outage.
There are still several NWC pumps that are out after 3 weeks, and several NIC, National Irrigation Commission, pumps that supply water to farmers across the length and breadth of Jamaica. The farmers of this country cannot get back to earn a livelihood if they are unable to replant or unable to continue to water whatever is left of their produce.
Work will begin on the Greater Mason Hall water system in the next 2 weeks following a groundbreaking ceremony on Thursday for Phase 1 of the project. The $173 million project in St. Mary is part of a broader investment of over $900 million and will be completed within 2 years. Minister with responsibility for water, Senator Matthew Samuda, indicates that a progress visit to the site will be done on August 22. He is urging residents to exercise patience and understanding of any disruption or inconvenience associated with the project.
There will be some dislocation and some discomfort. That is the nature of construction. We're asking the community to work with us because, as you know, when tractors and heavy equipment working, sometimes you have some traffic and some blockage.
Mr. Samuda says a sensitization meeting will be held with residents, which will also include discussions on roadworks within the community. At the same function, Minister Matthew Samuda announced that a household resilience project would be established in the Mason Hall community. Minister Samuda says that while the government is building resilience of its water systems, there is a great need to build resilience at the community and household levels. The project will involve the Social Development Commission, SDC.
So we have asked the SDC to work with us at MEGJC in assessing communities where we have projects underway, assessing communities where projects are promised but don't start it, to determine the households that do not have adequate water storage and cannot afford it.
Minister Samuda says the Household Resilience Project will give preferential treatment to vulnerable individuals such as the elderly. And finally, the Upper House has approved a bill paving the way for amendment to Section 61 of the Constitution. This amendment introduces new language into the Constitution, replacing references to the Queen or the King with the Parliament of Jamaica. Leader of Government Business in the Senate, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, piloted the debate on the bill on Friday.
Laws passed within our Parliament are still enacted by the words, "The Queen's or the King's Most Excellent Majesty." And this is because the Constitution sets out how bills are enacted. It does so under Section 61, and this bill seeks to amend those words of enactment by providing new words, prescribing new words, which reflect the autonomy of Parliament. Some things just need to move forward, and the Jamaicanization of our Constitution is one of these things.
The bill is one of the legislative steps being taken by the government towards making Jamaica a republic.
The government firmly believes that it is important to express the supreme authority of Parliament of Jamaica in all legislative matters. And very importantly, Mr. President, the proposed amendment to Section 61 of the Constitution is an important step on our road to becoming a republic. Having replaced the words of enactment for all bills of Parliament, when the bill to transition Jamaica from a constitutional monarchy to a republic is passed, it will state that the enactment is made by the Parliament of Jamaica.
15 members of the Senate voted for the legislation, 1 abstained, while 5 were absent. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lisa Rowe. Thanks for watching.